In this video, we're going to go back to Photoshop to create some additional decals for our street racer. Okay, so here's where we left off in the last video. And the areas that I'm going to start to build some more decals for is this front part, the side door, and this back area. Okay, so rather than going into Photoshop and making decals for each individual part, I'll do something similar to what we did with the original photorealistic car modeling kit and just grab all three of these parts at the same time. And also I'll go ahead and grab this ground effect. Okay, so what I should have are now 4 pieces selected in total. And what I can do with all 4 of those pieces selected, let's go up to Edit Polygons, Texture, and we'll go to Planar Map. Okay, let's check the options on that, and I want to still make sure that Keep Image Ratio is turned on, and I'll also go ahead and make sure Camera is turned on. Okay, hit Project, and if I go ahead and take a look at the UV Texture Editor, here's what we have. So with all of these pieces selected, let's go ahead and export a UV snapshot. So let's get the UV snapshot out, and let's go ahead and call this car body UV. Okay, and we'll save this out as a JPEG. And this image I'm going to make a little bit bigger. Let's go ahead and make it 2048 by 2048. Hit OK. And it should export that out. Okay, now let's go ahead and go back to Photoshop and pick up where we left off. We can go ahead and close this image out since we're finished with it. And let's go ahead and open up now the car body UV. Okay, so here's our car decal, and it's going to be pretty big size. So the first thing that I want to take a look at is importing some of these car textures that were given to us from Total Textures. So let's go ahead and open up the Total Textures folder. And the first one I'm going to start out with is this dirt map. Okay, so I'm going to open this up. And basically what it is just a mud splatter. Okay, so again, with this dirt map open, let's go ahead and look at the alpha channel. And I'm going to control click on this alpha channel. And that's going to pretty much select everything that I need. So with everything selected, I'm going to switch to my move tool and just go ahead and drag this down onto the car. Okay, I can go ahead and rename this layer to just something like mud, just so I can kind of remember what it is. And you can see right now, I want the mud to be up here on the front, but right now it's facing the wrong way. So what I can do is go up to Edit, let's go to Transform, and let's flip horizontal. Okay, and what that'll do is basically just give me a mirror image of what we had. Okay, so now what I need to do is get this quite a bit smaller than what I've got right now. Right now it's way too large for this this car. So what I can do is go to Free Transform. Okay, and now I can just scale this down until it fits pretty much in to the right shape. So something sort of like that. Okay, hit enter. Now you can still see that it's at a much different angle than my existing car geometry. So at this point, most of it's going to be getting cut off, which I'd really rather not happen. So what we can do is, with this mud layer selected, let's go ahead and under Filter, let's use Liquify. Okay, so here's Liquify. And let's go ahead and just start things off by zooming in on the area that we want to be able to manipulate. Okay, and right now, by default, it'll just bring up what looks like this. It's only going to show you the layer that you happen to have selected. But within Liquify, there's an option down here in the lower corner. It's called Show Backdrop. Okay, and if you turn on this Show Backdrop, by default it's going to say All Layers. What you really want to do is just switch it to one layer, or whatever layer you happen to be using in the background. In our case, that's this background. Okay, and set it to behind. And basically what it'll do is just give us a point of reference. So as we move this mud layer, we kind of know how far to move it. So the tool that we're going to be using is this forward warp tool, and it's actually just going to be a matter of, first of all, finding the right brush size, and then just pushing and pulling the area that we want to. And it shouldn't take too long to do. Luckily, the Liquify makes this a really quick process to get down. All we have to do is just use that forward warp to push this into a shape that now perfectly matches the car geometry. So once we're satisfied with that, go ahead and hit OK. And give it just a second to process that. And now you can see that our mud layer perfectly matches the car geometry. Okay. Now let's go ahead and pause the video right here, and in the next video we'll continue building up the decals.